So I'm very curious about this. Apparently, there was a thing that happened. Antifa mob wreaks havoc on GOP candidate's Portland rally from roses to riots. Dun 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 dun. Stan Pulliam says Portland police took 20 minutes to respond to calls from rally goers. All right, let's see Fox's hard hitting, fair and balanced reporting. Ugh.
Alleged Antifa members attacking a peaceful rally in Portland in support of a Republican candidate for governor. That man, Oregon gubernatorial candidate and mayor of Sandy, Oregon, Stan Pulliam, joins me now. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
No, absolutely. So tell us your experience here. I guess this is a rally that you...
This guy has absolutely no fucking shot at ever becoming the fucking governor. No shot at all. This kind of thing, like when you have a Republican candidate like trying to make any moves in Oregon, they know that it's not going to work. They know right away. Absolutely. But the thing is, this is usually like a bid for obviously like getting some donations and trying to put your name out there to then further find a way into politics, like backdoor politics, you know, like, well, I ran for the governor and this is how far I made, so I should get put onto this, that, or the other thing. It's kind of like, I'd say it's kind of like an audition reel, you know? And then the idea that this guy in specific was going to get protested, I'm not very convinced. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see what he thinks happened. Here we go.
Put together. This was a Fund the Police rally, I believe. And just kind of tell us what happened here.
It's unbelievable. You know, the city of Portland, from roses to riots, a statewide candidate for governor. We should be able to go to the largest metropolitan community of our state and have a peaceful campaign rally. Of course, less than 15 minutes in, we're greeted by Antifa, showing up with firecrackers that they're throwing at us, ink paint, feces all over our campaign.
Whoa, I didn't hear about feces. I didn't hear about feces. That's fascinating. Yeah, I wonder if I can find just like the regular video of it, because it's. I gotta be honest. It is really not how I'm used to seeing Antifa operate. I mean, it might be. It's such a fucking like wild ass disparate fucking group of people. I wouldn't be surprised if like, you know, a bunch of stupid kids decided that they're gonna freak out about it. I wonder. Yeah. I think I've got like the raw video, but let's see if they are gonna show it in this video.
Our campaign bus completely destroyed. That's the city of Portland circa 2022. That's why we're running for governor. Republicans are looking for a fighter, and we're going to take this fight all the way to the governor's office.
You know, real quick, even President Biden has said that
this guy is like a charisma black hole. Holy shit. I'm looking at his issues too. Protecting our fundamental rights. I am a proud pro-life, fundamental rights, pro-Second Amendment, pro-medical freedom, and pro-private property rights conservative. Constitutional right to make personal decisions, unless you want to have an abortion. You know, just saying. Standing up for Main Street, blah blah blah. As mayor of Sandy, I've slashed red tape by removing system development charges for patio seating at local restaurants and burdensome parking requirements. We've increased funding for the tenant improvement program, when COVID-19 threatened the livelihood of local Main Street business owners. I spearheaded a relief fund to provide aid to several local small business. You know. Yeah. Public safety. He's all about wanting to boost up and bloat the police department. Education. I wonder how he wants to address education. The pandemic has taught us that while some students do well in alternative environments such as online school, most depend on schools to deliver full-time in-person public education. I don't think that's actually what the studies have been showing. Also, the fucking design work on this website is garbage. It's really hard to fucking read it. Homelessness. We must return to policies that focus on restoring community livability and safety by moving the homeless off the streets and out of the parks to more sustainable and humane housing. That's good. That's good. Absolutely. Okay. I like that. Better use of shelters, building additional shelters, or even adapting unused buildings. Based. Okay. Actually, I kind of like that. That's actually a kind of a sane answer. Not just, vacuum them up and deposit them somewhere else. Okay. All right. Well, maybe he's got some decent ideas despite being a fucking nasty ass ghoul, but let's go.
Antifa doesn't exist. This is an organization that calls itself anti-fascist. The idea that they would be trying to squash free speech is pretty ironic. You're up there, you see it. I guess Antifa does exist.
It's unbelievable. We have video footage evidence that's all over Twitter, all over social media. The local news has picked it up. And just like you say, they're claiming it didn't even happen and completely staged as if it doesn't even exist. Just like critical race theory, just like gender identity education in all of our schools. The extreme left just says it's not happening, even when it's right there in their face. But you know what? Go ahead. Go ahead.
You're running for, I'm going to get to your state. You're running for the governor of Oregon. Portland is a city that was absolutely, ravaged by the protests over the last few years. Let's take a look at Portland crime. It's
fascinating to, Antifa. His voice is terrible. His voice is fucking terrible. And they had Antifa ravaged Portland. I've been to Portland. I was in Portland while all that shit was going on. You walk 2 blocks away from where the main protests were, you wouldn't even know anything was happening. You'd have no fucking clue. The whole rhetoric of they're burning cities to the ground is bullshit. There are some cities that got hit pretty hard. I do believe so. I do believe they got hit pretty fucking hard. But a city burned to the ground? No. Was there bad shit that happened? Yeah, of course. But they always have to make it in this overblown fucking thing.
Surging. Robbery up 56.4%, assault up 6.2%, homicide up 49%. We look at
I think that's during pandemic versus now numbers. I haven't looked at the overall crime stats for Portland. Portland crime stats past 5 years. Yeah. Maybe it is getting pretty bad. Way above average. Sure. Well, that's too bad. I love Portland. I would hate to see Portland getting worse and worse. I can imagine various reasons why. But I'm not gonna theorize on
Portland's
that.
crime total year to date. That's plus 30%, up 30% just in total crime in this year. What does this city need, and what does this state need to get back on track?
You look at those crime numbers. Here's the deal. In the 1970s, we had 30 officers per 100,000 people. That number today is 8. And then we wonder why we have all the crime and devastation going on. We have proposals to triple the size of the state police. We want to put the National Guard onto the front lines. Additionally,
so we need more cops, and then we need the National Guard. This dude is just fetishizing the idea of hurting citizens because he doesn't like the way in which they're operating. And that's how he's going to deal with crime. But you see, they're also conflating Antifa with crime, which is also a totally separate fucking issue. It's ridiculous. Oh no, I don't trust. No. I don't trust the numbers that they're putting forth. But at the same time, I'm not going to be able to disprove them because I'm not going to right here and now, try and find the most confirmed ones. All I found was that there was an FBI report that did say the crime rate in Portland was pretty bad, and it might be.
We're going to deputize a small portion of the state police as U.S. Marshals, because when you're arrested by a U.S. Marshal, you go into federal court, into the federal judiciary. These criminals will go to jail under a Pulliam administration.
This dude's dick is rock hard while he's talking about this. Rock hard at the idea of bloating our federal prison system with people who are committing regular state crimes. It's, huh.
You know, you probably have had a chance to talk to voters. You're a Republican running for governor. That's a little bit partisan there. The two parties system going on. What do the voters in general, the independents and the Democrats that live in Portland, how do they feel about this? Is there a chance they're going to vote for you because they're fed up with it as well?
Absolutely. You know, they're so sick and tired of it. We talk all these days about being woke, right? But how about the people who are awoken, the people throughout Portland, the people throughout the state that are sick and tired of the mass homeless crisis that's going to every corner of the state, the crime that we've been talking about this morning? People are ready for a change. They're ready.
They're not. People in Portland don't give a shit. I cannot even begin to tell you how much people in Portland do not give a shit. They don't. They never give a fuck. They don't care. It's one of those things. This guy, like, this is something, hey, what's up, fellow Oregonian? Good to see you. This is something that I think a lot of people don't really quite understand about Portland. In specific, Portland has been a protest city for decades and decades and decades and decades. And even with how bad things got over the past, 3 years with some of the fucking crazy riots, the siege of the Justice Center and shit like that, nothing by comparison to, say, the protests during the invasion of Iraq. That was bad. That was fucking real bad, man. Yeah, you're from Portland. You attended your first protest at 7. Fuck yeah, dude. Absolutely. It's part of the fucking culture of Portland. And so if you go to somebody who's, been in Portland all their fucking life and you're like, how do you feel about the protests? They'll be like, well, which one? Well, what about that one? They'd be like, I didn't go to that one. Was it any good? That's what they fucking care about. Or they're just like, yeah, that's Portland. I just, if I know that there's a protest going on, I just take the long way home. Whatever. It's not that big of a deal. That's it. That's fucking it. But people who don't live in Portland, always want to paint it as this fucking hellhole. It's hilarious to me.
Ready to get their communities back. They're ready for safe communities. That's exactly how we're going to lead as our next governor. I hope.
Safe communities, bitch. The whole fucking city is gentrified. Where the fuck is it even affordable to live in Portland anymore? You can't even go up to St. John's at this point. St. John's is bougie. It's really nice too. I really like St. John's.
Your viewers, check us out. Go to standpulliam.org. We need campaign contributions. We need to get on the air. We've declared a war on woke. We're sick and tired of the Antifa. We're going to put these folks in the jail. We're going to take our state back.
Okay.
Real quick, I know 2 people were injured in this rally. I don't think it was life-threatening. Do you feel safe continuing to campaign, and do you feel like you're being properly supported to secure these rallies and to have that safety provided to you?
Absolutely, we do not feel safe in the city of Portland, but we're not going to back down.
Then, bitch, don't come in the city.
Better believe our campaign's going to be making an appearance here very shortly into the city of Portland. We're not backing down. We're going to take our state back. As you talked about, it took over 20 minutes to get an operator on the line when we called 911. The police never responded. Of course, it's not their fault. They don't have the resources. But under a Pulliam administration,
Why didn't you already have security there? Why didn't you have your own security there? Why didn't you let the fucking police know before you went that it was going to happen? Because here's the thing. This is why I think this might be bullshit. It might be real. It might be. But Portland is so obvious. If you are in Portland, you know how Portland works. And no, look, police in Portland usually don't help too terribly much regular people. But if you've got a fucking right-wing political candidate and he tells the police, I'm going to be here and I'm going to be holding a rally, the cops will show up. They will. Because the last thing that they want is there to be a giant confrontation. So I don't think he told the police. And in fact, I had never heard of any of this guy before. I'd never heard of him. But for some reason now, I've heard of him. Because suddenly he was attacked by Antifa? It's weird. I mean, maybe it's true. I don't know. But, like, look at this shit. So this is on his Twitter, and he's, we're going viral on social media, 281 likes. The one that's supposed to be the big one, this one is about 5,000 likes. I don't call that very viral, bro. Not really. But let's this is him platforming the war on woke. And he is, this looks like, is this downtown? This might be downtown. I don't know.
Well, good afternoon. Sandy Mayor Stan Pulliam here. Many of you watching our social media feeds from earlier today, maybe you're on Twitter, it's going pretty viral over there, may have seen the events from earlier today, where we were just trying to have a pretty normal campaign conversation as a candidate for statewide office to be our next governor with supporters here in downtown Portland, the Lion's Den. You can't even do that here these days here in downtown.
And that's the thing. The Lion's Den. This dude has no respect for the actual culture of Portland. He has no respect to it. That's what I try and like explain to people a lot of times when they talk about Oregon, because like 99% of the time when you hear somebody talk about Portland or Oregon, they know nothing about Oregon, they know nothing about fucking Portland, and they're just looking at it through a lens of whatever like piece of shit place they fucking live in the country, or in the case of some jackasses out of the country, and they don't really get it. They don't understand. They are not interested, including this fucking guy, is not interested in there being a representation of the people. If so, he would understand, try to learn, and then try to then govern to best represent the people and culture of Oregon. But he doesn't want that. He wants to be an authoritarian and throw people in fucking prison. That's fucked up. Because I gotta be honest with you guys, I don't like our current governor. I have not liked her for a long time. I think she's just as corrupt as any other fucking politician. I think she's made a fuck ton of stupid decisions, especially during the pandemic. I am not a fan of her. But I will vote for her again, because at the very least, she's not doing this. And am I happy about that? No. But it's really hard to unseat a governor, especially in Oregon. And it sucks. But this guy is 10 times worse.
Downtown Portland. We were shortly interrupted by the extreme woke Antifa left, who decided to show up with their violence and their riots. The city of Portland, once a community known as
violence and riots. Okay, yeah, sure.
The city of roses, has now become the city of riots. Now you may be wondering why we're standing outside of PG Park here, outside of the Portland Thorns game. That's because we had always planned to be here. You know, as a father of 2 little girls, many of you may have seen our TV ads. We're standing up for girls' sports. The Portland Thorns, we all talk about how wonderful of an organization they are. What an outstanding sports team. I'm one of those that grew up remembering Title IX. Remember Title IX? Supposed to protect girls' sports? Not these days. These days, we allow biological males to compete on the same playing field, pool, or athletic gym as our girls. It's unconscionable, certainly outside of common sense.
See, and this is the thing. That is not going to fly in Portland. Now, you can make the excuse of like, well, freedom of speech, everybody should be able to say, everybody should be able to say whatever the fuck they want. And true and not true. You have to understand that there's no law against being an asshole. And there's no law against being wrong. Nor do I think should there be. No, I don't. But the simple fact of the matter is, when people talk about free speech, one of the things that they love talking about is the town square. Well, he's in the town square, and he says things that he believes, and then the people in the town respond. And people want to blame like all of these big protests and shit on Antifa, but you got to keep in mind, sometimes some of those protests, you would have something like 5,000 to 10,000 people marching through the fucking streets of Portland. When they are responding to something that is happening in Portland and that many people show up, that's not Antifa, that's Portland. That's Portland responding. That's the city, the fucking people responding. Now, I don't think most people in Portland even know who the fuck this jackass is. So that's why I'm just really curious. But anyway, just for the sake of like, clarity, like here's the attack by Antifa. I guess, maybe it is.
We're taking the city back. Yes. We're funding the police.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eight people, all dressed in black, black flags.
No longer are we going to have the crime and the mayhem. We want the Roses back. We're tired of the riots. We need safe communities.
And see, the thing is, like, this could be some anarchist group. It could be some people who are, you know, like Antifa minded and shit. But I know for a fact that that's not Rose City Antifa. I know for a fact. You can tell exactly who that is, who Rose City Antifa is when they show up, because they have a very specific flag that they will rock. So like that's the closest thing you get to an organized Antifa in Oregon. Yeah, it's a bunch of people in black bloc.
Here in our state. Safe communities here in our state.
Oh God. Oh no. There's a smoke bomb. Oh God.
What's up? We will not be intimidated.
Is he trying to act like he's being tear gassed? I don't know.
We will not be intimidated.
Now, one thing does happen in here that I absolutely think was not very cool.
Somebody call PD. Can somebody call PD and tell them that
we will restore the beauty of this city. We will return Portland to the streets of our neighbors. We will fund the police.
we need them?
It's a gender reveal riot. I love it. I love it. Oh, that's fucking funny. Holy shit. No. That's great. I like that. Thank you.
Now, man, and third.
Like, we need them now.
Now.
The people of Portland are not feeling unsafe. We want our state back.
It's so strange because like there's about the same amount of people that are standing around blowing their annoying whistles and waving their flags as the people that are there for this jackass. This is like a total interaction of less than 20 people, and they're trying to make it into like some national news and shit. It's a nothing burger. Nobody gives a fuck.
We demand it. We will take our state back.
Heads up, rocks.
Heads up, rocks. Where? Like even this dude is like, where, bitch? Where? What? Where?
Heads up, rocks.
I don't fucking see rocks. What the fuck? I don't see any fucking rocks. Hang on. Let me see if I can find. There was like a second. More footage from PDX. Was this the next part, I guess? I don't know. I'm trying to find, like, at one point somebody throws like a fucking like a firecracker that's really loud, and like, guys, that's bullshit. Oh yeah. So I guess like this is paint. I think that's just paint. Jesus Christ, guys, I'm fucking terrified. I'm fucking terrified. Holy shit. Literally, you could walk by that in the city and not even have a second thought about it. Exactly. Dude, absolutely. I've seen that shit happen all the fucking time in like cities and shit. You just walk past, you're like, oh, I wonder what that's about. Oh, well. And then you just don't give a shit. But this, boo, they're coming for you.
Well, we're just here to
He got pasted with some mud.
support our candidate for governor, and a group of goons showed up throwing fireworks and paint bombs at us. Welcome to Portland. Probably gonna need to buy a new jacket.
Welcome to Portland, yeah. When you come in and you say shit like fucking transphobic garbage, and you war on the woke and blah, 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 and you just run your mouth about a bunch of shit that people in that city are not gonna fucking like. I mean, sure, Yeah, don't throw mud at people. Yeah, don't throw fireworks at people, you know? But just showing up and like blowing their whistles and waving their flags and shit, I got a problem with. But also, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that it happened. Why would you be surprised that it fucking happened? It's Portland. It's fucking Portland. Jesus Christ, the sound is fucking terrible. Yeah, they can spray paint it and shit. I don't see why anybody is that fucking oh, that's silly string. That's fucking silly string. Oh, for fuck's sake. Come on. It's silly string. That's kind of why I think, like, maybe the fucking thing was staged. Because, like, he wasn't covered in paint. Like, that was just mud. He got mud thrown on him. And then they didn't spray paint the fucking thing. They threw mud on it, and then they shot silly string on it. Like, nothing that would actually take any time at all to clean off. What the fuck? Then again, I mean, you know, this reminds me quite a bit of just, you know, some of the crazy black bloc kids.
Get the fuck out of here. We were leaving. No, we're leaving. No, we're not leaving. No, you still here. So fucking leave. It's going to be worse next time. Yeah, shoot somebody.
I'm sorry, but like, nah. I really, I have absolutely, it's such a fucking nothing burger. And in fact, like, I'm doing it a disservice by even talking about it myself, you know? Like, it's fucking ridiculous. This guy is a fucking clown. The best thing that ever could have happened to him is if this actually is real and it happened, because otherwise nobody would even know who the fuck he is. He's just some fucking jackass who's wanting to, like, rabble rouse. He knows he's never going to be governor. And hopefully, he's probably hoping that this is going to get him like a shit ton of donations to his campaign. That's all it is. The only thing that is more pathetic than this whole entire attempt is that it will work. That's fucked up. That's sad.